This is my review of the LG G6. I love this phone. The very first LG I've ever owned. I picked this up. I've had this now for about a week or so, and just wanted to, give everybody a heads up about this device. If you don't have one, or if you're looking to buy one, you will not be disappointed at all with this device. I love the camera system on this. I love the wide angle, the dual cameras on it, the 13 megapixel. This camera is just about right up to the Galaxy S8. I hear a lot of people talking about the Galaxy S8, and I watched reviews on them, and I'll tell you right now, this phone, for the price, in my opinion, is better. Now, for the fingerprints scanner or sensor in the back, works really good. I love this. It seems to work awesome. You just touch it, it's on. It's pretty quick. It's a lot faster than any Galaxy device that I've ever owned, and I love how it works. I love the placement where it is on the back. Just feels right to be on the back. It's an actual physical button. You can push it on, turn it off. If you don't want to use that sensor, everybody's like, well, I don't like the fingerprint sensor in the back. It sucks. I can't just hit the bottom when the phone's sitting on the table. Well, there's always double tap, you guys. You can turn the phone on and basically put in a passcode or whatever, which is not very hard. So for me, coming from the Galaxy, well, actually my very first phone was the iPhone, and I got away from iPhone pretty quick. I've had the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 5, and I left the iPhone market and went to Galaxy, and I was so happy with the Android. I would never go back to Apple again. Like, it's just, they limit you to whatever you can do with your iPhone, even downloading apps and stuff like that. But I will never go back to an iPhone ever again. I mean, they lost a customer big time, and I know they're losing a lot of people. This wide angle camera, I'm going to get a lot of use out of it, and the 13 megapixel standalone just camera itself that's there is awesome as well. There's so much you can do with the cameras on this LG G6, and the selfie mode in this camera is actually really good too. I would have been very disappointed if I would have purchased the Galaxy S7. I would have been just buying basically a small upgrade from the S5, or sorry, the S6, and I really didn't want to go for a 2-year contract on just something step up. It didn't feel like it was worth that, and the only reason why I'm doing an upgrade from the S6 is because the screen apparently is going on my phone. So that's why I went to the next device up that I could find. And I got this phone here really cheap. It's around $500 in Canada for this device. And if you want to buy it, through a seller device or service like TELUS or Bell or somebody, you're looking at around $700 for the phone. I'm paying on a 2-year term with 3 gigs data, and I think it's almost 500 minutes calling. I'm only paying $60. I will not ever pay $90 to $100 or better on any cellular device. So I can't understand how people can even afford that. I mean, emergencies only. For calling is all I use that for. I use this phone more for the camera than anything. I love now that all new phones are coming out with Type-C charge, which is not a big deal. And I like it much better than the micro USB. It's more convenient just being able to use Type-C. It doesn't have to go in a certain way. You don't have to fight with it. You're at nighttime by your bed, and you have to see or feel which way the flat part is going in your phone. So I like the idea of the Type-C. All new devices now, all flagship devices, actually even devices that's cheap on the market, are coming out with Type-C charging. So it's about time that that they come out with the Type-C on all new devices. LED sensors in here. The LED flashlight is really bright, works really well. I've used it quite a few times where I've needed the flashlight, and I find it's actually brighter than the Galaxy S7 that I have. You know, I watch reviews on people doing tests, in which, you know, it's a good thing. I'm not really laughing. It's just that it's quite funny that people will go purchase a phone, or, you know, just to do a drop test and you know, scratch test and, you know, underwater test and freeze them and submerge them in Coke. And I find that's just out there for views. I would never do that to my phone. I would never spend hundreds of dollars to do something so stupid. I love that water resistant IP68 on most newer flagship phones now, and that's a must for any new device today. After making calls on this phone, the speaker on this phone is really loud. There's no problem hearing people on this talking. You put it on speakerphone and no problem hearing people. You put music on this and play from your device. That speaker is really loud, you guys. I love how it's crisp, it's clear, sounds good. I don't plug in headphones in any device. I've never used a headphone. I will never use the headphones for this one. When they have Bluetooth out there today, why would you want to plug in and have a wire dangling from your phone to your head? Like, it just makes no sense today. So Bluetooth is a big number one thing for me on a device, because I use it for my vehicle, call features from my vehicle, hands-free. So it's quite stupid for having to use they can do away from, as far as I'm concerned. I don't use them. And when people do unboxings and they're so disappointed they don't get a headset with these devices, I find that stupid too as well. If you can get a phone cheaper for $400 or $500 and you don't have to pay $100 for a cheap set of earbuds, you know, I really don't care. I'm glad there wasn't a headset in the friggin' box. I'm glad I didn't have to pay an extra $50 or $100 for earbuds. When I can go out, if I really want to get a set of earbuds, I can get them cheaper than that and be fairly good quality buds. Other than that, I'll never use them. Bluetooth all the way. Now, there's one thing I do recommend when you purchase this: get a case. Why not? Whatever case you prefer, a skin or whatever. But I did purchase one extra thing for this, and I purchased the Gorilla Glass screen protector to go over this, and I also purchased a device, or I think it's Gorilla Glass, to go over the camera lenses to stop that from being scratched. I do know I've seen people test them and, you know, scratch them with knives and stuff, and they don't scratch up, but I'm not going to take that chance. I'm not going to you know, take a chance on an expensive phone like that I have to rely on this camera for years to come. So basically, the reason why I even have a cellular device is basically a camera. That's the only reason why I have a cellular device, or you know, emergencies only. Like I said, I rely so much on the cameras today on these cellular devices that the technology today is just outstanding. Pictures is awesome. I know you can get better pictures from most handheld cameras out there today. Some people will beg to differ on that, but why would you want to go buy a great big camera when you can get a phone that does multiple things? Now, the only thing I could see, if you really wanted to go out and buy a good camera, if you were going to use the zoom and stuff like that, I could see for that reason being, I would love to see these phones come out with a better zoom, that when you zoom right in, it's still nice and clear. I find with most cameras, the cameras in the phones today, when you zoom in, they get pixelated or they blurry, or, you know, I don't know about the Galaxy S8. I do know when you focus or zoom in with this one, it's not too bad on the wide angle, but when you're zooming in looking a distance away, they're not very good at zooming in. So that would be the only reason why, if you really were in the need for zoom, then you purchase a camera that can basically have that lens and is capable of doing it. Now, the screen on this phone, using it after a week, I find the screen on this phone is better than the Galaxy S6 and S7, and I've read a lot of reviews about the screen, you know, comparing it to the Galaxy S8 and you know, the LG G6. Yes, the Galaxy S8 screen is better, it's a little brighter, but you know, daytime you might want to brighten your screen up to be able to see it when you're outside. But I find, you know, when you go brighter, you're going to lose a lot of battery. So, you know, other than that, you know, why would you want your screen so bright? Indoors, it's down, cranked down all the way. At nighttime, you don't need to see it that bright unless you're, you know, it's all up to your comfort and what you want to view and what you want to look at. You have a hard time seeing, you got to wear glasses. You might want to crank your screen up a little bit so you can see it. But just remember, when you crank your screen up, you're going to have to sacrifice some battery. I would say LG, it's a great phone. I love it. I probably will never go from LG again. I'll probably purchase LG devices from here on out. As long as they keep making good phones like this. And, you know, the Sony sensors that's in these cameras are awesome. I do believe that some Galaxy devices has Sony sensors in them. I do know that the Galaxy S6, when they first came out, there was 2 different sensors, and I think the earlier models that come out had the Sony sensors in them, and there was another sensor that came out that they were basically a knockoff, and they did the job, but I'd rather have a Sony sensor. So the sensors in this LG G6 is Sony. The sensor is awesome. It does a fantastic job, you know, and I love it. I just love the pictures that comes out of this camera. I love the video that comes out of this camera. So the only cons that I have with this phone would be taking video at nighttime. It's not the best at low light photos and video, but if you really want to get down to it, neither is the Galaxy S8. So like I said, low lighting, taking pictures with this, it's a pain in the ass. I know it is with any phone, even my Galaxy S7 or S6 or the S7. It was a pain in the ass as well. But, you know, I have software on my computer that can compensate for the low lighting or issues like that. So, basically, you got software at home for editing and stuff like that. You can clean up a lot of it. See, LG G6 is my favorite device now. I'm very happy with this phone. I love this phone. The wife loves this phone. And I will make some videos on pictures and stuff like that. But from here on out, all the videos that I make will be coming from this device. So you'll see what the camera's like anyway. So when you watch a good storm that I post on you know, YouTube, and you watch all them videos, you're going to see how good this device is. Now, RAM management with this phone is much better than the Galaxy S8. If you watch videos on YouTube and people are doing a review on them and you're showing you how fast they are, comparing it to you know, the Snapdragon, different sizes and stuff like that, you know, this phone has better RAM management, works better. It loads games up quicker than in the Galaxy S8. So my opinion about the RAM management is awesome with this phone. And that was another reason why I took this device, because coming from a Galaxy S6, and I know the Galaxy S7 has the same issue, basically all Galaxy devices have RAM management problems. So like I said, the RAM management with this phone, comparing it to the Note 8 and the Galaxy S8 phone, this device is better. So from all the reviews that I've watched of this device, comparing it with the Note 8 and, you know, other flagship phones in the S8, this device, in my opinion, is better than those. And if you don't believe me, continue watching videos on YouTube. There's really, you know, people that does really good reviews on these devices, and they do a good job. And I just don't watch the video and go by that. I watch the video, then I go down to the comments and I read the comments, because you know, the people out there that's making these comments, and they're letting you know in the comments what they think of the device and what they like and what they don't like. And you compare that with other devices out there on the market today, it's a big help when you're purchasing a device. So thanks a lot to everybody out there that's, you know, left, you know, comments below each review that people's done on these devices. I really do go by the comments as well. I listen to everybody. I do know there's a lot of Apple fans out there that likes to come out and say such good things about iPhone, but I basically block these right out because I've been an Apple fan. I know how far Apple's gotten with their technology, and tell you the truth, it hasn't impressed me at all. Expensive when you pay that much money for a phone, and you know, their technology and the way that they're going about things is just not impressing me at all. So sorry, Apple fans. I used to be an Apple fan, and after owning a Galaxy, or you know, now the LG, Samsung and LG are probably the two top flagship phones you can get your hands on today. They're the best phones on the market. I don't care what anybody else says out there. These guys, LG and Samsung's, the two phones to beat.